and then cue the show after he says that. It'll be perfect. Masterpiece. Guys,
Yes.
what is your favorite
Christ.
Friday the 13th movie?
Jason Takes Manhattan, because it's fucking so terrible. Like it's almost unredeemable that like it leans so heavily into the cheese that you can't not appreciate the cheese.
Doesn't he like punch a dude's head off in that one? Is that one?
I don't know, man. It's like they all run together after a while, but like I just love like when you see him like, you know, climb up out of the water from like onto a dock, and you're like, this isn't fucking Manhattan. I've been to Manhattan. This looks nothing like Manhattan. It's amazing.
Dude.
I love it.
Dude,
Well,
Friday the 13th 4, the final chapter, because I think it's the best one, if I can remember correctly, and it's also got a goofy Crispin Glover dance.
Ooh.
My favorite one is Freddy Takes Berlin. First we take Manhattan.
Wait,
then he takes.
your favorite Friday
I
the
missed that
13th
one.
movie is a Freddy movie? You know what? I'll sign
Berlin.
I'll sign on for that for shit. For shit. Can we start this show?
Start the show.
Oh my god.
Oh, Jason's in that one.
This is PSVR Gamescast Live. We film live every single Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 6 p.m. Eastern. Oh my god, it's Friday. Not only Friday, it's Friday the 13th. My name is Brian Paul from this channel right here, PSVR without Parole, and the guys to my right, the boys! Dave from Dave Station, the VR.
Stroke it out of there. Yeah, so... Sorry.
What's going on?
I don't know, man, but I have to say that I meant to make a bad Leonard Cohen joke, and then I forgot what movie franchise we were talking about halfway through it.
Nice.
So, yeah, sorry about that.
And that guy on the right-hand side of the screen is AJ from the Underground, PSVR Underground.
You know, Friday the 13th is actually supposed to usually be a bad luck day, and the funny thing is, it's always been a really good luck day for me. And I don't know if you guys know this about me, but I'm kind of a lucky charm. Yeah, I don't know.
You're
Friday
magically
13th.
delicious?
Yes, I am.
Come over here.
Friday
Let me
13th
come
has
over here. Let me
always
lick you.
been a lucky day for me. What is up, Brian? What is up, Dave? What is up, Gamecats? So good to see everybody on this Friday 13th, as we mentioned. And are you guys going to be marathoning anything? I want to know, is anybody going on a marathon tonight? But, guys, we have had an amazing week, and we have some great discussions of some games that dropped, and I'm super excited. Hopefully we can send you off into the weekend with some positive vibes, positive energy, and great gaming goodness.
I mean, can we get this out of here?
I'm liking that you're convinced they're going to be good conversations before we've even had them.
Oh, they're always good
I like your
conversations.
faith. I like your faith in us.
Every single time I get to hang out with you guys and shoot the shit and talk about PSVR games and games in general, I mean, like, how could things be bad? It's always good conversations. Okay, and speaking of good conversations, can we get the best conversation out of the way first? The abandoned real-time experience app finally dropped on the PlayStation Store. It's updated. You can actually download it. You can actually use it. And holy crap, this whole Silent Hills troll is getting better and better and better by the day. I can't wait for Silent Hills. I'm 100% convinced that this is going to be Silent Hills. And on top of that, I think it's going to be PSVR 2 compatible.
Abandoned,
Really?
makes
You think
sense.
so?
Yeah.
It being codename Abandoned makes me think it could be Silent Hills.
It makes me does think that too. Yeah.
It makes me does think.
Do you think it'll be open world or more linear?
It makes me does think.
It'll be open linear.
Nice. I'm very, very excited because, dude, I mean, so let's just put this in perspective. I don't want to get too deep in the rabbit hole right now because this is a PSVR show until they say, hey, this is actually coming to PSVR, likely PSVR 2. Then I don't want to like waste everybody's time. We're probably all spending time on this outside of the show, researching this or maybe obsessing over it like I do. But the fact is that like they just keep pushing this information off over and over and over and over again, and like it just feels like they're waiting until that rumored state of play that could be coming on the 19th to say, oh, and here's Abandoned, aka Silent Hills, flat screen, PS5 exclusive, and PSVR 2 hybrid game. This is also the same state of play that's been rumored to be a PlayStation VR 2 reveal. And it was like, oh, like how perfect would that be? Not to get everyone's hopes up, but that would be fucking perfect.
Say, dream big, Brian. Dream big.
Yeah.
Keep believing.
That's right.
I want to believe.
Dude, Pepo, the Kojima, the Silent Hill Gamecat, which, by the way, fucking amazing name. How do we not get
I think that's our old friend.
He's got the
Pepe.
icon with the face and everything.
Yeah, he's in the chat, man. Kojima's in the chat here. He knows what's up. So.
Staring through my soul.
All right, you guys, a little housekeeping. Make sure that if you haven't already joined our Discord, click the link in the description below. Join our Discord. That's where this conversations like it happen 24/7. We're also going to be doing a Fracked AMA with Jimmy from End Dreams shortly. It's going to be next week. We'll get all the details out on that as soon as I have them. So that's all happening on our Discord. We also do our nightly box VR sessions. We have a question of the day that Donnie takes care of. We've got whatever you want, man. Multiplayer meetups, all sorts of great stuff over there. So make sure you check that out. If you want to get on the Patreon, scroll down below, patreon.com/withoutparole and hit us up for $1 or more every single month, like we see. And don't forget that we're on Spotify. We're on a bunch of different streaming services. Apple Podcasts now. Fucking J Meow is killing it with this shit, by the way. So this is really good stuff. If you don't want to sit here and watch an hour-long video, go check us out on streaming services of your choice. But all those people that we just thanked are not the only people we want to thank, are they, AJ?
No. We would like to thank those who support us in another way.
Oh, now that you mention it.
Changing their name.
Wow.
By changing their name on Google to something GameCat, something GameCat related, or something GameCat adjacent, as you, Brian, or something GameCat adjacent would like to say. And this week, we have 2 new GameCats to welcome to the Gamecat Dojo. Starting with Wild Hour, the GameCat. He got it.
Wild Hour's awesome, man.
Dave got it.
Wild Hour and I talk behind the scenes sometimes. We chat a little bit on
Australian?
Discord. And
Is he from down under?
I think so.
Yeah.
That's always a good sign.
All the
I
weird
always
ones
like
are.
Australian
I'm a big
people,
fan.
man.
Yeah.
We've also got Donatello, the misanthrope GameCat.
Bing. Donatello, what's got you down, man? What's got you down?
Yeah.
Is it that we don't have Abandoned yet? Is that the reason? Because give it time, man.
That's why he hates people, because we don't have Abandoned yet.
I mean, that's
Maybe.
why I hate people.
Misanthrope, a person who dislikes humankind and avoids human society.
Did you look it up?
No, I knew that from my memory.
I literally saw the light in your room change from closing the window.
I've got all the news articles ready. Okay, I'm prepping for the show,
Oh, my
Brian.
God.
If you guys
Get off my back.
if you guys change your name to something the GameCat, make sure you put in the comments below, not in the live chat because that doesn't help us at all. In the comments below any one of our videos, hashtag GameCat, and so we can give you a shout out on next week's show, just like we gave the Misanthrope in the Wild Hour. A shout out on this week's show. We love you guys so very much. Our community is the best community out there.
That is true.
AJ, you said you have some you have all the news stories up. What could possibly be the very first news story for today's show?
Well, Brian, the first news story of today is that a new update is coming once again to Swordsman VR, and this time, I know he is killing it. You know, Sin Studio is basically the mini Hello Games of the VR realm right now, in my opinion. Listens to all the feedback and, you know, and just takes everything. Well, actually, you know, Hello Games doesn't necessarily listen to feedback. They just drop update after update after update that improves the game. And this one, my friends, is going to be adding advanced weapon handling to the game.
It looks amazing.
It looks really cool, yeah. So if you don't know what that is, I assume there's a video in the corner or something. But it's like you can transition the grip of your sword, so you can like grip it on the far end and flip it around and like do all that stuff with it. I'm not sure how useful that'll be in combat. Like flip the sword around and beat the guy with the hilt or something.
I love
like
that.
I don't know.
It's so goofy. I have no idea why this is a thing.
I wonder if you could hold it like this and just like run into a guy like a battering ram.
Yeah.
Like
Curious to
there's
see
a lot
how
of options here, yeah.
Yeah, it's funny that with every update he gets closer and closer to like Blade and Sorcery, where it's just like all this advanced physics stuff, like all sorts of like just a lot more freedom, where it's not just like, you know, dudes and swinging and stuff. Like it's getting closer and closer to that every day. I do wonder how far he's going to take this. I also wonder how, like, is anybody tired of this? Like, is anybody like, all right, guys, we've had enough of this. Enough updating Swordsman. We've all played Swordsman. We've all beaten Swordsman. And now we're going to go back and see what's new in Swordsman. Don't get me wrong. I think for anyone who's just getting into it now, it's like fucking incredible, right? It's like, because this doesn't seem like additions or updates or anything else. It's just the game. But like, man, I've been playing this game for how long? How long did it come out? A year?
Yeah.
Like,
The
I'm good now. Let's I want your next game.
The depth of the mechanics and stuff of this game is something that I feel like most VR games and indie teams could only dream of having. And for that reason, it makes it really special to me. The physics, the ability to do things. You know, that recent update that added grabbing, where you can like pick up enemies and like hit other enemies with them, and all this sort of stuff has been absolutely super impressive and fantastic. And I'm just blown away by it, really. So, in my opinion, no. But I am interested to see if we're ever going to get that like those like mummy stages or something, or there was like another kind of like, you know, he added the pirates, he added like a bunch of other things.
He's
I am
like
curious
an
to see if
Egyptian
we ever
thing or something. Like, he's like the possibilities are endless, and he's been kind of delivering on the endless possibilities.
I cannot wait for the Egyptian thing, if that's coming. Cause,
that sounds cool.
That's my shit.
Yeah, this and so the one thing that I've always seen in Blade and Sorcery is cool ways to maneuver around the arena, right? So like Blade and Sorcery has more verticality and stuff, and so like the arenas are just kind of like, you know, the one thing I think that they have on Swordsman. And I've actually seen people like take an axe and like climb up the side of a arena with an axe, right? And like the axe has its own physics, and it's all able to like interact with the environment, like so you can just like hang the axe on the wall and then climb up the axe, grab the axe, and then, you know, that's fucking incredible. And I'm wondering if that's one step closer. I mean, maybe I'm just dreaming too big at this point, but like it seems like this is one step closer to like a potential arena with verticality and stuff. But I think again, they've done so many different updates that like you've definitely gotten your money's worth at this point. I just hope you know, hopefully all of this stuff like bleeds into their next game, and just kind of starts from this level instead of having to update to get to this level.
Yeah, this is invaluable experience, man.
Yeah. Guys, before we move on to the next news story, I do want to give a shout out to a few people who have tipped. Didn't miss you guys, I promise. We were just trying to get the show started. We got Firebird Old School with the 100 Sekuros, says Brian, Dave, or AJ. Who's the man behind the mask?
What?
Brian?
Yeah, that
guess?
sounds most
I don't
likely,
know.
yeah.
I don't know. Leonardo DiCaprio?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I think it's actually Leonardo.
Was that a
DiCaprio.
George Michael song, right?
Could be Leo.
I don't know. It sounds like me. I don't know. Yeah. The Wolf Craze with $20 tip says, sorry, I can't donate much this week. Wolf Craze comes in.
$20 is plenty, dude.
Right.
Come on.
Throwing $20 at us saying, sorry, I can't give you guys much this week. Dude, we appreciate you. We appreciate you no matter what. Like, and this is like for everybody out there, whether you tip or not. Like, obviously we're going to read your comment if you tip. But like, even if you don't, man, we're reading your comments and we're just fucking happy that you're here. He says, sorry, I can't donate much this week. Good Blair Witch play, Brian. Keep it up, boys. Thank you always for the content. Thank you very much, Wolf Craze, for being here.
We never care about just you guys just giving us money. We're fine just eating peanut butter on a day-to-day basis.
I like creamy
we
chicken
we can
ramen.
do that.
It's actually my
Creamy chicken ramen is actually pretty damn good.
It's so damn good. It's like when you're
But
sick
I
of
don't
all
ever
other
eat
ramen, like that's the one to go to. Mad Max Stone, the Gamecat Avenger, with a $5 tip, says, found you guys on Spotify. Now I can catch the show on the way back from work. Also, did you see my Silent Hills Abandoned tweet? #witness, #you made it.
I did. That was debunked. It was a fake Silent Hills thing. You got to be careful. There's lots of scammers, pranksters out there.
I will say though that, like, you know, I love all the fan stuff. I love all the conspiracies. I love all the jokes. I love all the real stuff. Man, this is my favorite story. Abandoned is my favorite story since PT first launched, and everybody was like, "What the fuck is this?" We're all playing through it together and just having a blast. So
Just remember,
yeah,
nobody is as credible as a source as Brian Paul, who loves you all. Everyone else, don't trust him.
Oh, I'm the guy that's like, it's gonna be a PSVR 2 game. It's gonna be Silent Hills. Like, I wouldn't trust me as far as I can throw me on this one. Yeah, I don't know Hideo. Although we should change that. you think I could get to know Hideo? Like if I bake him an apple pie or something, and be like, "Hey man, can we be
Maybe.
friends?"
Yeah.
I'll probably hate you even.
If you put a baby in the apple pie, he might like it.
What? You got to separate the art from the artist, man. Like this is fucking going a little bit too far. All right, you guys, probably time to move on to the next story. Thank you guys for all the tips out there. We appreciate you.
Trebuchet has given us an update.
It goes, Streamlabs OBS is so terrible. By the way, we're live. Welcome back, guys. So sorry about that. Streamlabs OBS is so terrible, it's actually trying to sync files with the cloud right now while we're live. It's like, you have no understanding of like how your own program works. Anyway, listen, since we're back, we do want to give a shout out to Your Long Shadows. The Gamecat Meow with the 50 Nokia cell phone says, "We can't have y'all eating the dog's peanut butter." I don't want to go too deep into that. But thank you, Your Long Shadows. We love you. All right, AJ, let's try this again. What's the next news story?
Regarding Winds and Leaves, Trebuchet has tweeted out, update, tree emoji. They say the stability focus patch 1.04 is out now. Here are the patch notes. And there's 3 things. Branch emoji, enhanced anti-aliasing. So this one's actually kind of probably significant, because this game, I thought, had a pretty good art style, but it was a little bit on the simple side. But it ended up being kind of jaggy in ways. So I haven't had a chance to look at this yet. I don't know if you guys have, or Belramio, you out there, if you ever did.
I checked it out. Yeah, it's terrible. I was actually really upset when I loaded it up, and I was like, oh, enhanced anti-aliasing. I'm like, I wonder what that could be. Is this like, like, did they make it look less blurry, or like what did they change the type of anti-aliasing they used? Whatever. They just like turned it up, right? They turned it to 11.
Oh, so they enhanced they added anti-aliasing.
They made it blurrier.
Extra.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so like I know we all have our different preferences and stuff, but like when it comes down to things, I am the guy who says I'd rather have the jagged edges to get a sharper image. I always turn it off in Firewall, and whenever I have the chance, Swordsman, turn it off. And so just to have a crisper, cleaner image, I'd rather have jagged edges in a sharper image than like a blur on the edge of everything. And Winds and Leaves, had a low resolution to begin with, and now they've taken the low resolution and they've blurred it out. And I'm like, and of course, so I was not happy with the change, and then I was like, well, they must have given us the option to turn it off, right? Of course they didn't.
They didn't. No. Wow, botched.
So I'm really unhappy with the patch, but hopefully this is just yet another patch in a series of patches to get us where we need to be with this game.
All right. Well, the other 2 notes include crash occurrences further reduced. The game, right at launch or whatever, was crashing like crazy. I will say after the previous update, 1.03, I didn't really have any crashes. About halfway through the game, I made it because I was trying to get the platinum trophy. But then, of course, my trophy that I was trying to get was bugged, so I never got to get it. Still not happy about that. And then the other thing says, piece of broccoli, other bug fixes and performance optimization. So I will be going back in and seeing if I can obtain that platinum. Because, I've got one more quick thing to do, and that's it.
Excellent. Winds and Leaves, a work in progress, shockingly.
So, some amazing things. Guys, this has been such an amazing week. This has actually been the biggest week of releases on PSVR that 2021 has seen thus far. We had Synth Riders, Arashi Castles of Sin, Hypercycle Arena 2, which was a big thing made in Dreams. But then yesterday we got 2 new. We got a giant update and we got a new game, and that giant update was none other than the Smoke and Thunder update from Pistol Whip.
So good, so good.
Good.
They got to keep these free things coming, man. I'm sure they will. It sounds like that's on their roadmap. Although, as I've said, I would pay for this stuff. I would easily pay $3 to $5.
Why don't you tell us what it is,
like
Dave?
This. Well, so what it is a Wild West themed campaign update to Pistol Whip that comes with new guns, a few new modifiers, I believe, as well. But it's a brand new storyline. The art style is different. They've introduced a lot of new mechanics, like there's guys on horses and stuff.
Yes.
A lot to dive into here. What did you think of the music, first of all, guys?
The first part, the first thing that I noticed, and I don't think I knew any of the music tracks or anything. The
Well, apparently
very
the
first
first one,
scene
yeah.
is Shortchange Hero by The Heavy, which is, for those who may recognize that or something, it's a popular as the Borderlands 2 theme song, that like ain't no place for no hero. I had no idea. That was like totally unexpected that was going to happen. And so like that immediately like set the tone, and I was like, holy shit, they got like this awesome song, really popular song, and it made it into the game, and I thought that was dope as hell. Got me super excited right off the bat.
Yeah, and like I initially was super excited because I was like, oh, this has more of a Western vibe. It totally captures like the visual style of what's going on and stuff more than their typical kind of EDM sort of stuff, right? And so I
Yeah.
was thinking, oh, this whole pack is gonna be like way more Western themed. That goes out the window right after that first song you were talking about. It just goes back to being normal pistol whip music after that. But I did really like the way it synced up. I mean, for the most part, it gets back to being electronic-y and not Western themed, and doesn't really have any twang or anything to it. Whereas that first one comes out the gate, and you're like, "Oh, this is the Western shit. All right, let's go."
Yeah, I would say
But
the one thing I wasn't interested in, like when they said those, they said Smoke and Thunder was like the next DLC. I was like, the one thing I wasn't interested in was the music. I was like, oh, this is going to be like stuff I don't care about. This is going to be stuff like, even if it's in genres that I like, it's still going to have like the country twang to it or whatever. And like generally, with very few exceptions, I think Josh Ritter is probably the only musician out there that has like a country twang that I'm like, oh, you're fucking amazing. And I mean, let's talk about contemporary. I don't want to get into a whole musical discussion. We can save that for the outro, the end credits. We can yell at each other about our musical taste. But
cool.
yeah, no, for sure. But like, as far as contemporary music goes, Josh Ritter's it. So I was shocked. I jumped in. I was like, oh man, I fucking dig the music. This I was very, very happy. The one thing I wasn't interested in with the update, I was immediately turned on by. It's like, this is great.
Yeah, I agree. Overall, the music was fantastic, and there's more to do, more to talk about with that.
I will say I have one song that I didn't like. The one where you're on the train. Maybe it's because I had to replay that level a few times. It started getting at me, and I was like, this song is kind of tedious and a little bit not up there with the level of quality of the other songs. And people in chat were saying the same thing, too. So hopefully it's not just me there. But
Yeah, so far, but I didn't have a lot of time to play. I've only seen the first 2 stages of the campaign.
oh, really?
Yeah.
You didn't get to the boss. Oh, the
No.
boss is cool.
Yeah, I can't
The
wait.
boss is really, really hard, though. As they mentioned in the chat, there's kind of like a Donkey Kong thing going on. They're chucking barrels at you
Nice.
while you're, there's guys coming at you and stuff. But it's kind of like a Wild West, the movie Wild Wild West style, like mecha creature, which is kind of a cool nod. I think they've done some nods to other John Wick and stuff like that. So I think they're definitely doing a Wild Wild West nod at the end here with the boss.
Well, that's the other thing, right? Is that like, again, with the last was it 2089? I always get the years wrong with the
Yes.
2089 update. That was like right up my alley. That was like, okay, I knew I was gonna like that. I knew I was gonna like the everything about it, because that's just like, I like movies in that style. I like games in that style. Like everything. This is just a great genre. And then this, I was like, oh, well, even Red Dead, I wasn't like a huge fan of. Everybody else was, but it was like, so again, I wasn't looking forward to this. I was looking forward to more content, but not so much in this genre. But man, they absolutely killed it. Because, as you were saying, Dave, it's not just straight, hey, here's like Red Dead style stages. It's got some like steampunk elements to it. It's got the mecha stuff in it. Your guns have like wires and shit. And like I love all of this. So like they took something that normally wouldn't be for me, and they made it definitely for me. This is really really cool shit here.
Yeah, and I was interested to see, like, I didn't know if it'd be the same protagonist from one to the next. Like, oh, maybe this guy we saw in the cyberpunk world is now somehow transported to the Wild West or whatever. But it's a brand new character that you play as, who's a girl this time around. And the campaign parts in between, like the little cutscenes, are actually really well done, as they were in the first one. Really colorful, I don't know, well drawn, and also like there's that depth to it where you're kind of looking into a diorama, like a picture box almost, where you can like look around and there's depth to stuff. So
I think they must have kept the
once
same
again
artist,
they nailed
right?
it there.
Because
I think so.
the style looks the same, even though the setting is different. I'm so happy about that because the style for 2089 was fantastic. So just sticking with that, but just changing the setting was a great move.
So
yeah, I mean, any game that has that sort of comic book style aesthetic with the cutscenes where it's got depth to it, where there's like layers to the panels and stuff,
the 3D and stuff.
it
too.
works so well. Like that's the only thing about Arcus Path that I thought was like redeeming, because those cutscenes were fucking awesome like that. Like I don't know.
There was I've been asked a whole bunch, like, both of these in my opinion were absolutely mind-blowing in just their presentation, the quality and stuff. I've been asked several times which one I think is better, the 2089 or the Smoke and Thunder. And to be honest with you, I think they're pretty equal to me personally, because they're both themes that I think are great fits for Pistol Whip. For me, 2089 had this like futuristic Terminator feel to it, which is like totally kind of my thing. And then this is also Western, which is something I've been dying for in VR, like a good Western fun experience. But we touched on the music and like, but the gameplay itself, I feel like this had a little bit more variety to and like creativeness to like the gameplay, the enemies. Like you said, there's enemies flying in or riding in on horses. You're like on the train, you're going through the saloon thing, and like there's so many cool Western tropes that they just jam packed into these 5 scenes. You're going through the mines, and like there's like the underground train and everything. And I really, really think that while they're mostly equal, I feel like this one slightly edged out in terms of like the adding like the depth to like the creative like tropes and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of like gameplay elements, it feels more substantial than the last one, because there's not just that, there's also shotguns now. Yeah, and there's exploding barrels. And so between the two of them, you're doing a lot more like area control than you're doing like directly shooting guys. So like there'll be 3 guys running up towards a barrel. You pop the barrel at the right time, you get all 3 guys. If you sit there trying to boom, 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 you might not. But also there's a spread to the shotgun, which is pretty new for Pistol Whip. Like if there's 3 guys in a row coming at you on horseback, you put it right in the center and you could pop all 3 in one shot if you line it up right. And so that's an interesting kind of new way to play the game, to think about like not precisely shooting guys, but just like kind of area.
I will say I didn't like I loved the 2 6-shooters that you start out with, but I wasn't crazy about the 2 shotguns or the shotguns. You did like those more?
You got to
I didn't like those
often, but
they only had 2 shots each, and I didn't like them as much as the really cool futuristic weapon you had in 2089. I liked the gun a lot more. This, to me, that was the only weak spot in my opinion. Was like I wasn't as big of a fan as the shotgun.
I think it made me be more methodical about my shots because I only had 4, and it's designed in a way where you're able to get through each section with those 4 shots, but it's like you just have to do it the right way, right? So like if there's a group of 3 guys here and a group of 3 guys there, I can go boom boom, and that's only 2 shots, and then I can be ready for whatever's next. It kind of made me think about what I was doing more because I had less ammo to work with.
But you guys know, this wasn't the only part of the update. There was the Styles edition as well. Did you get to check that out at all?
I did not check out the new styles yet, so that's going to be all
shit.
you, buddy.
Talking about adding depth to Pistol Whip. I mean, this is already a game that I've been singing its praises. Like when it first came out, I was like, yeah, this is cool. And then they had like updates and stuff, and I was like, okay, this is getting better. And it just now is like getting like levels and levels and levels better. The Styles update not only lets you do any of the campaign stuff within the arcade mode, but it adds stuff like Big Head mode. Like some fun.
Ooh,
there's like challenges. Fun. Yeah, there's like custom challenges now. There's like all these new modifiers. There's Big Head mode. There's Bullet Hell mode, which holy shit. If you go, I got my ass kicked. Okay, I probably should have started Bullet Hell mode on normal instead of hard, but I went straight to hard and bullet hell mode at the same time.
Yeah.
And good God, that is probably one of the most challenging things I've ever played in my life.
That sounds like a workout, man.
Oh, dude, I was sweating like crazy by the end of it.
If you guys do try that out, keep in mind that unlike some games where your body can be hit by stuff, in Pistol Whip, your head is the only object that can be shot. Yeah. So as long as you're doing your, like basically in a bullet hell mode, picture your head as the ship that has like its little hitbox or whatever, and that's kind of how you'll be playing. They actually, the last boss has a little bit of bullet hell stuff too, so I guess I'm not too surprised they added that.
No, this is like really great news. There was, I've talked probably at length about the things I care about in games and things I don't. The thing I cared about in this was the fact that we were getting like a full campaign with the cutscenes and the new music and new types of enemies and all that. But being able to go in and do modifiers and it sounds like styles are like basically a type of modifier. And obviously, bullet hell is more than just a modifier, but it's this stuff for whatever reason, by the sounds of it, kind of transcends the stuff that I ignore in other games. I'm excited to finally try all this stuff out. Like I said, I only had about 10 minutes to play the campaign before the show, so I didn't get to try out any of this stuff. But Pistol Whip is one of those games, like, I don't know, every single other rhythm game I've ever played in my entire life, that when I stopped playing it, I could just kind of forget about it and forget how awesome it is. But when I stopped in for just the 10 minutes, I was like, damn it, I should be streaming this. I'm having so much fun and just loving every single second of it. I need to be streaming this and checking this out and like doing this with the cats. So stay tuned, because tomorrow I'm guessing I'll probably have some time to actually stream Smoke and Thunder and really go in depth and check out all the different modes. So if anybody out there hasn't picked up Pistol Whip yet, by the way, still $25. Right as of this moment, right now, they are raising the price to $30 because of all the DLC that they've added. So if you are gonna buy it, this is probably your last chance to buy it before the price goes up. We have a ton of tips to take care of, gentlemen.
We have like 90 tips. Yep.
So let me take care of some of these here. Starting with Mick Coles with the 10 quid. Says been a while tip wise, but ready to throw some serious shapes in Synth Riders and Pistol Whip. Question: how many 2021 games will be in the new top 25 list? Hashtag life in the old girl yet.
I think quite a few, man. Quite a few. Just to tease the next top 25 list. We did skip the last one because there weren't enough new releases. We wanted to make it, we always want that to be special. We love that debate, and, we take it pretty serious. We also want the list to be as high quality as possible and to be as relevant and fresh as possible. And I think there's going to be a solid amount of new games, as well as, you got to remember some games have gotten updates and things as well. I'm definitely going to be bringing some new stuff to the table here that I think you guys will like.
I know what Brian's bringing to the table, but we'll talk about that later in the show.
I hope it's pizza. Am I bringing pizza to the table?
Ooh, that'd be nice, but I mean for the top 25.
I will also bring pizza to the top 25. I'll bring pizza everywhere we go for every occasion.
Yes.
Yeah, I think there's going to be a lot of 2021 games on my list as well, and certainly, I guess we probably shouldn't be getting into specific titles and stuff. Hey, add that to the list. Next Friday, as long as nothing goes wrong, stay tuned, because you guys all stick around and we'll have a nice long GAMESCAST, and we'll talk about a top 25 list. We'll see how that all goes down. Hopefully Fract will be on it. We'll see. Next tip comes from Gatorade23 with a $20 tip. It says, here's some happy Friday pizza dough, pun intended. Thank you so much. Gatorade23 doesn't always say things when they tip. So it's when you say stuff, we listen. Also, Deathly, the Subterranean Death Cat, with the Canadian $15, says, here's some cheddar for that pizza. Another pizza
pun. Both dough and cheese are.
We've almost got a full pizza.
Money.
We need some toppings. Yeah. We need some toppings now.
Well, are there any meats that also have financial connotations to them?
Hugh Guyver.
I don't know if you I don't know. Maybe if you had like the big dollar coins, you could call them pepperonis when you're throwing them at somebody. I don't know.
That's
have some pepperonis.
I think we're
yeah, I don't know. There's no meats.
Yeah.
No meats.
I don't know. All I can think of is
Got
like
another tip though.
penis puns, like just like have my salami, have my sausage. It's like it's all penis stuff. That's not money. Donatello, the misanthrope game cat with a $10 tip, says gives Brian a big hug, gives Dave a hug. Hold on a second. Gives Brian a big hug.
Brushes the
Gives
hair.
Dave a hug. Brushes the hair off my face. Oh, so maybe brushing. I don't know.
My brain is broken trying to read that sentence.
Gives AJ a hug, cheeks under the beanie. I think I need a hug.
He's checking under the beanie.
Oh my god. It'd be funny if it was cheeks. I think I need a
Got
hug.
cheeks under
Love
the
you
beanie
guys.
too. Goddamn.
I think it does sound like Donatello needs a hug. So everybody, come on, one big group hug. Everybody get in there. All you cats, get into the group hug. Wear your masks. Stay out of the circle if you're not vaccinated. All right, guys. I think that's enough smoke and thunder.
Bacon. That's it. Bacon.
Yeah, that's a
Good
thing,
call.
right?
Bring home the bacon.
Bring home the
You
bacon.
got the cheese.
Gotta
You
make
got the dough.
Yes. Holy
Yes.
crap! I like it. Who came up with that?
I believe
Now it's Ryan?
Jay.
that was Adam.
Drew.
Oh, triangulator maybe.
Triangulator?
Oh, Adam. It was Adam. Yeah.
Adam. Okay. All right.
Fuck, this is- we're on
I don't know.
right
I don't.
now,
got
guys.
Beef sounds like another penis thing. I don't- why is
Okay.
meat? Oh, even meat is kind of penisy. Anyway,
God, we're so off. We're so far off.
It must be Friday. It's gotta be
guys.
Friday,
It must
yeah.
be fucking Friday. Yeah.
Yep. Absolutely. So the other game that came out, or the other big thing that came out yesterday. Holy crap, man! This has been a busy couple days. Was the Blair Witch VR edition on PlayStation VR. I think we were all a little bit nervous about this one because it was another Bloober Team game ported by the same studio in Kuvo, and that did Layers of Fear VR, which the three of us had some mixed opinions on, but ultimately we all agreed it was a bare bones kind of maybe
Sucked.
Quest 1 port at best. But Blair Witch, I think, might be a different story. AJ, what were your first impressions on it?
My first impressions were, oh my god, this looks so much better than Layers of Fear. I was like, oh, like so worried. And after playing Layers of Fear 2, I was like, please, I don't want to ever see this combination of whoever worked on this ever again. And I was so pleasantly surprised with we'll start with just the graphics, the resolution, and the graphics themselves. Looked really, really good, guys.
Yeah, there's a lot of atmosphere here. It's like, you're kind of in this spooky forest for the most part of it. But, as you go through, things are changing around you. It's pretty foggy, but then like it goes through night cycle and day cycle, and you get to see different kind of perspectives of it as the game goes through. Because, as I think we'll talk about more, this game is definitely about fucking with your perspective. Like that's a lot of the horror of it isn't just jump scares. It's like psychological.
Oh, it
getting in
relies
your head.
mostly on atmosphere
yeah,
and stuff.
Mostly
Chills.
just psychological stuff, which is really cool to me. I kind of prefer that style of horror
Agreed.
usually, and this did that better than I expected it to. Really,
yeah.
Brian, initial thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, if anybody watched the live stream yesterday, I was a little bit nervous in the menu screen because it was really, really dark and you saw the screen door effect and I couldn't tell. I was like, is this blurry? Isn't this blurry? And then pretty much the second you start, let's ignore the 2D cutscenes. We'll get to that in a second. But you get in, you're walking into the woods, and not only does everything look pretty crisp and clear, but they use fog really effectively, and they use nighttime really effectively to cover up any of the possible technical limitations of the hardware. And so it all just looks really good. Somehow this forest doesn't, there's not a ton of pop in. It just seems like you're in the middle of this forest, and they do a great job of making that forest seem big. And you take one path, and like eventually it does connect back to this other path, but then there's another path over here. And if you're like me and you get turned around really easily in games, I'm like, It took me a little while to sort of get my bearings and say, okay, I've just been going around in circles doing figure eights and shit. But that's perfect.
There's times though when you actually are making progress, and I think that they tell you you've gone in a circle. Like there was one time where I was following where the dog was telling me to go because he had picked up a scent, and then I ended up at the same place, or it looked like the same place. and they were like, "Huh? Are we going in a loop? Like, what's
Yeah.
going on?" And I actually don't think I had gone in a loop. I think the game's fucking with me.
Yeah, that does happen occasionally.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
so to a certain degree, like you said, it does feel like really easy to get lost, and that adds a lot to the tension because you're just like, where the fuck am I going in here? But the dog is very helpful. Does the dog have a name, by the way? I can't remember.
Bullet.
A bullet.
Bullet. Yes, of course,
Yeah.
Bullet.
The dog's awesome.
Bullet is such a good boy. Such a good boy.
Yeah.
And he is very helpful in finding the path and, searching out stuff for you.
Dude.
And barking all the time.
I found Bullet to be more endearing and more lovable, and I was concerned more for Bullet than I was about Haru during my
Haru
time.
you don't have to be concerned for because Haru just kicks everyone's ass. Just like Haru is like indestructible. Like,
But it's
I don't know.
but there's a similar element here, right? It's like this is your sidekick, and you pet your sidekick and just make sure that everything's going okay, and you check in every so often, and maybe it's because Bullet's a dog and more susceptible to danger, and doesn't have that gigantic presence in VR that you have to say, hey, this is an animal that I care about. And I pet Bullet at every chance that I got. Anytime Bullet did something good for me, anytime Bullet found an item that I was looking for, anytime Bullet showed me the way somewhere, I was like, man, I'm lost. And Bullet's like, over here, you dumbass. I'm like, oh, okay, I'm coming. I would make sure to pet him. I'd give him a treat. And just be like, I treated Bullet like he was a real pet. And to me, that did something that Haru didn't.
Speaking of petting the dog, the other thing I really disliked about Layers of Fear 2 was there was like a real lack of like interacting with stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I think you opened doors and maybe picked up items, but everything kind of just did stuff automatically. This game was really interactive, and that was the second surprise to me was everything from picking up items to and putting away. You had stuff that you grabbed. You grabbed your cell phone. By the way, the cell phone had like it's like a Nokia phone, and it had
all these options.
It had like even a settings in there to change the theme of the phone.
You can play Snake on it.
There's
fucking play
games
Snake
on
on
it.
it.
There's like you've got your calls, your messages, all this stuff. So you have the walkie-talkie with the channels that you can change through and stuff. You have the video camera that you can pull out and
That's
use.
a really cool, kind of creepy feature. I like the video camera.
And that's part of one of the main important mechanics of the game is you kind of use the camera to like fast forward and rewind time and sort of unlock certain events and things in it. That's going to be a really important thing to know. But man, there was a lot of stuff to interact with. Even in the game, there's stuff like a car that you can come up, pull the handle. There's all this stuff to touch and mess with in the car. There's levers for puzzles and all sorts of things. And it was VR AF, as Brian likes to say.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, infinitely more interactive, and infinitely more immersive than Layers of Fear. Layers of Fear, I'd be trying to pick up stuff all the time, and in this, you could pick up pretty much everything, especially near the beginning of the game. Anything that you ran across is like, oh wow, I can pick that up. That's crazy. And very little of it had anything to do with like, enhancing the gameplay itself. Every so often you pick something up and there'd be a photograph on there and be like, oh, fucking cool. Okay, there was a point in picking that up, but it just added to the immersion and really got you in there and started helping with the setting and the mood and the atmosphere and everything else. It was a great start to the game, honestly. And that just made me feel really good. Opening the trunk, like AJ said, being able to pull out the spare tire, it's just like it's so pointless, but it felt good to do. But adding to the immersion, getting back to some of the stuff AJ was talking about, is all the things that you're holding on to. You already talked about the cell phone and like your walkie-talkie, but that video camera, without even talking about the puzzle-solving mechanics of the video camera itself. Did you guys notice? This is brilliant. This is absolutely fucking brilliant. The button layout on the camcorder itself was the exact same button layout as a move controller. So there's a big button in the middle, and then every corner had another button. So you were never going, oh, I wonder which button does what. I wonder how to do. No, it's the same layout. It's a simple thing that it's like somebody custom designed this for a move controller so that we never had to wonder how to push buttons. It's like it's just one-to-one. And it's a simple thing, but you can tell they went above and beyond because I can guarantee you the Quest doesn't have the same layout. right? It's probably got a layout for the Quest.
The button mapping was
Yeah.
really good. And
Well-
speaking of the good,
Oh, I was just gonna say, I mean, the controls in general are
Yeah,
just
the
very
control.
intuitive. Like
Very
you just you can pick this up, and if you've played a game with the moves that's well designed before, you will know how to play this game immediately.
Yeah.
There's no fucking around forgetting what does what.
Right.
I always knew from the beginning what my hands were doing, and that's really rare, honestly, in a PlayStation VR game that's moved full locomotion.
Absolutely.
So yeah,
Smooth
they
turning,
they
full
did a
locomotion.
great job here with that.
Yeah, really, really impressed, like you said. And when you mentioned the Quest, that's something that is apparent as well, that this is not a Quest port. This
Right.
is very much a PC port, which I believe is probably why they both launched on the same day. They both are kind of like that, take advantage of the hardware. And man, after all the games that we've had that ended up, we're like, yeah, are they going to be pro enhanced? Are they going to be this? This was an example of why it's so important to have everything optimized for the PS4, PS5, because it, like I said, once again, visually, it was really good and takes full advantage of having the OLED screen. And horror games, of all games, need to have good contrast, good screens to really get the blacks really black and have that multi-dimensional kind of like color scheme to it. But yeah, just really, really appreciated the fact that it wasn't just the Quest port onto VR. It was, which we didn't hear good things about, and I imagine that was probably some of it to do, because it really adds to the atmosphere when it looks good. And again, this game has such a good presentation that I think it's important to have good visuals along with it.
Yeah, they did a really good job, I think, of even though it's mostly just you wandering in the forest with the dog. The stuff that does happen, the way it happens, like even just over the walkie-talkie, is like unsettling enough and atmospheric enough that you're still like, oh, okay, I'm still engaged, even though I've just been wandering around this forest. When the stuff happens, it's always gonna like throw a wrench in your brain and be like, what the fuck is going on here? Like, oh my god, okay, I'm on the hook. And so a lot of it takes place over voice messages or over the phone or the walkie-talkie, but it's still engaging because the stuff that's happening, the stuff they're talking about, is like engaging itself. I think they did a great job on the voice acting and the story and everything. Like, there were no moments where I rolled my eyes or anything like that.
It's good.
Yeah, we talked a lot about the graphics and how it's much better than the Quest port we got of Layers of Fear VR.
Yeah.
But one of the big things we need to talk about is the audio design, because
oh my god, yes, thank you.
This was, I mean, just above and beyond. When I think as when I was complaining about Layers of Fear, I was saying this would be a great game, but they sort of like pull you out of the immersion by sort of having these like really rudimentary sound effects, and nothing seemed really realistic, and the graphics, which I'm not a graphics whore, but I think graphics are super duper important in a horror game to get you into the mood, into the setting. And Blair Witch does all of this stuff right. You'll be walking down a path, and you'll hear something like run up behind you, and you're like, what? Right? And you can tell it's behind you. You can hear where Bullet is running. And you just don't, before you even see him come down the path, you can hear him running down the path. You walk by a little pond or a lake, and you hear bloop, bloop, bloop. It sounds like something's crawling out of the fucking water. I mean, and forget about the music, man. Like, every time you see one of those like little Blair Witch things hanging from a tree, it's just, it sends chills down my spine, because the music just kicks in at the right time, and I'm just, I'm like, I'm fucking terrified to pick the thing up because the music is being like, Brian, there's something really fucking scary about to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and you would hear shit in the woods walking around or making noise, or you'd hear growls or something, and like you know exactly where it came from. And yeah, it says in the beginning that it uses binaural audio and that it recommends using headphones. And
You
yeah,
should
it's like,
definitely wear headphones.
I always wear headphones, but
Yeah.
this is one where it's like you're doing yourself a disservice if you don't wear headphones while playing this, because the audio design, I've said before, I'm super sensitive to audio stuff in games.
I think most people are, whether they're aware of it or not. I think you're just more aware of it than other people.
It colors your
Maybe.
perspective of the game, yeah, even if you don't realize it could be subconscious.
But it definitely, I think people will appreciate that this game doesn't really rely on jump scares as much as using that audio, using the presentation to its full advantage, and really, really gave me some chills. Even though I was streaming it, I was definitely getting some like bone tingling, like spine tingling chills a lot of the time.
Yeah, and I'm glad that they kind of stuck with that, like, because the original Blair Witch, nothing really happens until the very end, right? They're just like finding little twigs, and they're like, "This is creepy as fuck. What the hell's going on? I think something's happening out here, but I don't know what's going on."
I just
and then
rewatched
you
it.
finally see at the very end.
Somehow it holds
But
up.
I love
like
the first
they,
movie.
They kept that vibe to it. Like, it feels like that, which is kind of iconic in the way where it's just like you really have no clue. You don't see the monster. That's part of the reason it was like so big. Was like it's a horror movie where you don't see the scary thing until even really at all. Like at the end, you just see the guy staring at the wall, and then boop, and the movie's done. So it's like
Spoilers for a 20-year-old movie.
yeah. Sorry, spoilers, guys.
So,
But yeah, they did a good job of that sort of psychological unease and just like not knowing what the hell's going on. And that's really the thing that makes it unsettling and scary more than like a jump scare kind of game, which I love that. That's a really good, they did pretty good on this.
I do have a couple gripes. Can we shift gears real quick?
We can. I do want to preface your gripes with the fact that there was a patch today that says it fixed a few bugs.
So did it say fixed AJ's gripes in the patch?
I tuned in just during AJ's stream where he was stuck somewhere, and
I had a great experience overall, except for one or two little bugs near the end, right before like the big ending sequence stuff. So I did have a couple bugs that were a little frustrating, but overall, like everything was smooth, like no issues at all the entire time. My gripe is that some of these sections in the game, especially like past the halfway point, there's a couple that are a little too walking sim feeling, and very much just like, okay, like the whole point of this whole section is to just walk, and it drags on for a little bit too long. There's a couple parts in the game that I felt were just way too much walking, and this game I don't think got the greatest reviews on flat screen. And I can understand that. If you don't have, like, this game to me almost feels more like it was built for VR than it was a flat screen. A lot of the stuff makes sense in VR, but on a flat screen, I'm like, whoa, this would be like a walking sim without VR.
Yeah, 100%. There's two areas I can think of specifically that if you were playing this on a flat screen, you'd be like, this is fucking boring as hell. And so... Yeah, so I have heard people say that this game wasn't great on a flat screen, and I've heard people say this game wasn't great on Quest, and I understand why they're saying that because VR took even the most boring parts of this game and made them at least immersive and go, okay, I'm gonna, this is going on too long, but at least the immersion is there, and if you put it on Quest and you didn't get the full effect, the full graphical effect, again, I played Wraith the Oblivion Afterlife on Quest 1, and I didn't get the same experience that you guys got, right? You guys both said it was scary, and I was like, this game isn't scary at all, right? Wraith the Oblivion Afterlife. So,
There's moments, but overall, no, not really.
Right, so I'm excited to play. I really, really hope, this is a total side note, but I hope that fast travel takes advantage of the PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5. Like, this only has a Pro patch, by the way. It's not PlayStation 5 enhanced. It
looks perfect.
It looks great, yeah.
Minus a little bit of pop-in. There is a little bit of pop-in, but it's so minor compared to how freaking good this game looks. It looks really good overall.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm sorry. Do you have other gripes other than the sections that dragged out?
Some of them I don't want to get into because I feel like they might be too spoilery.
Okay.
But really just I think the pace in some of the parts, a couple bugs that I ran into, those weren't a huge deal, but I just felt like some of it kind of dragged on a little too long. And that was about it.
4.5 hours from start to finish for me. And I will tell you guys, if you want to get the most for your money, this game you're going to want to play through it twice. There's an item you find the first time through that's only useful the second time through. So keep that in mind. I found at least one secret that I don't think I could access the first time, and there's a platinum trophy that man, there's a lot of collectibles to find in this game. A lot of it's just, I don't know why the dude is so, this guy's name's Ellis. I don't know why he's so intent on picking up trash around the forest.
Yeah,
But
it's like a park ranger.
right, and what, there's a trophy for picking up all the trash, and I was like, oh man,
Oh my
And
God.
there's a lot of trash out there, and so I didn't get all of the photographs or the trash the first time around. So I've got a lot of trophies and a lot of trash and a lot of collectibles to go back and find. So if you're a platinum trophy hunter, you're gonna have to play through this at least twice. There's an indication that maybe there's different endings, but I'm not 100% sure if that's true or not.
Donatello just said different endings as well.
There you go.
Yeah.
So definitely.
I hope in the second playthrough you get the special item that lets you pick up the trash easier, like the little thing with the poker on it, the little sticky little grabber, like the poker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but overall,
Trash bag to carry around.
I was super impressed with this. I hated Layers of Fear. I think I said it was like a 4 out of 10. This for me is more like mid upper 8s.
Yeah,
like
upper
this
8s
was
for me.
really I was really impressed with this, and yeah, it has some of its limitations and stuff, but overall, yeah, this is I give this a big thumbs up. This was really good compared to what I was expecting.
Surprisingly good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Imzadi says 4 different endings after Donatello confirmed that there are in fact different endings.
Wow.
Hell yeah.
I mean, 4.5 hour game. You probably, once you've gone through it once and know what to do, probably be able to blast through it a couple more times very quickly. But again, trying to find all the stuff in the forest, there's going to be one of those times through the game that you're just going to take your time, especially if you're going for the platinum trophy. You're just going to take your time and explore every single corner, trying to find every piece of trash, every single twig thing, every single photograph. There's a lot of shit to find. And we didn't even talk about the puzzle solving, how the video camera like plays into that. This is.
I did. I mentioned it a little
Did
bit.
you? All right. Well, then
Yeah,
let's
he did.
let's move on. We don't need to spoil everything.
No.
All right, which brings us to the last segment of the show, which is PSVR 20 questions. Dave is the host this time around.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my
I
goodness.
should have thought of something.
It's almost like we didn't tell you ahead of time.
It's almost like you didn't, but you did.
Right, we did.
And that's always how it is. I just don't think of one until the last second.
Well, you think of one, and everybody else out there, make sure you pay attention because you're going to help us out. We have 20 yes or no questions to guess the PlayStation VR game that Dave is thinking of. We have 6 minutes, courtesy of Timertopia. We're going to get that 6-minute clock up as soon as Dave is ready. And
I am ready. I've got it.
Oh, you are ready, huh?
You're going to hate me after this one.
Really?
Oh, yeah. This is going to be a terrible one.
AJ, you ready?
I'm ready.
I don't know how I feel about that
You ready?
statement. All right, let's go.
I mean, we can pick any game we want.
Is there a dog in this game?
No, there's not a dog in this game.
Okay. Is it...
Oh, I got to keep track. That was the first
That
one.
was one.
Yeah. Is it level-based?
Level-based?
Okay. Let me rephrase that. That was a horrible...
Ask me a different question.
Everything is
level-based?
every game is level based.
Yeah, some. Okay. Do you shoot guns in this game?
I don't think so. No, you don't.
That's
You
a
don't
big
shoot
hint
guns.
right there.
I need to look this up, actually. I need to remember.
Okay.
But yeah, no, I'm pretty sure you don't shoot guns.
AJ, what was your
Is it-
first question?
I asked if there was a dog in it.
No dogs. Okay. No dogs, no guns. Got it.
Is it a?
Oh, wait, I take it back. There is a part where you do use guns, it seems like.
All right. This is a big hint right there. Mostly no guns.
It's
but a
not.
part where
It's
you use
not a
guns.
hint. Yeah.
Okay.
Does this game have a flat screen mode as well?
No.
Has this developer made more than one PlayStation VR game?
Who's the developer?
You tell us.
I've got to find out, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Does this game have enemies in it?
Yes, there are enemies in it.
You got to be wondering what you're doing with those guns without enemies.
Oh shit, that's right. Well, you'd be surprised.
No, not so much. No. Is this horror themed?
No, it's not horror themed.
Okay.
Is it puzzle themed?
No, it's not puzzle themed.
Can you use the... I don't want to say aim controller. Let's go with moves. Can you use the moves?
I believe you can. Yes.
Is it sci-fi?
No, it's not really. I mean, it's hard to say. There are some elements of it that you might consider sci-fi, but I wouldn't call it a sci-fi game.
Okay.
You're right. I'm gonna hate you after this. Did we get our answer on if they made other games?
I don't believe they have.
Okay.
We actually had a similar question to this one time, and I said the wrong thing. I don't know. Just ignore that I'm saying anything about this. No. We're good.
Is there full locomotion in this game?
I wouldn't call it full locomotion, no.
Wait, no.
AJ, let's think of games that you wouldn't call it full locomotion. Because otherwise he'd just say no. It's teleport only or whatever.
Well, I wouldn't say it really has much locomotion to begin with.
Oh, look at that. We got a freebie.
I'm just trying to see if this is still available on the store. I don't think this is on the store anymore. What? They pulled it.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Lots of games
Well,
getting pulled.
that's a decent hint. It's not on the fucking store anymore, as far as I can tell.
How much time have we got left, Brian?
2 minutes and 15 seconds.
Is it? Is it a wave shooter or is it like a wave based game?
Yeah, parts of it are. I would say, yeah, wave-based parts of it are.
What? Wait, it's partly. Wait.
When I say parts of it are, think about what games have.
I know. That's what I'm thinking of. Like
put you,
raw data is
I'm
the
gonna
first
put
thing
you,
that comes to mind. But then
no, I'm going to put you in the right
definitely
mindset
not.
and say something more like PSVR Worlds.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, like a compilation kind of thing.
Yep. It's a compilation game. You get that for free.
Well, I mean, how many compilations are there? There's PSVR Worlds. There's HeroCade. There's Five Nights, which you just had the last time.
Well, keep thinking.
Is it? See, and it's been removed. Compilation that's been removed
For good reason, because it sucks, by the way.
'Cause it sucks.
Yeah, I mean, does this have a carnival vibe to it?
No.
Nope.
Okay, I'm just trying anything here because
How much time you got left?
we got 41 seconds.
Ask me if it's related to an existing IP.
Is it related to an existing?
Yes,
IP?
it is. It is.
I guess
100%.
Compilation. Ooh. Does it have? Wait, no.
Does it have superheroes in it, or do you play
It does have
superheroes in it?
superheroes. Yes, it has superheroes in it.
Okay, we got
You're on
15
the right track. You're
seconds.
going to run out of time.
Well,
but-
we got 12 seconds to talk about Justice League.
Yes. Did you know that it had been
Nice.
pulled from the store?
Is
I
it
didn't
just
know
is
had
it
been
Justice
pulled.
League?
It is Justice League VR. Good
Justice
job,
League.
Brian. You
No,
finally got it.
No,
I was worried
listen,
about you
that
there.
is
I gave you so many hints.
that was 100% Aceville, and you gave us a shitload of hints for sure.
Yeah, for sure. But I can't find it on the. I just looked it up on the store and I don't see it there when I search.
Ooh, that was close.
Wow. Okay, well, I don't even have a
Maybe
trailer
it
for
shows
Justice
up
League.
on-
That's how much we've talked about that recently.
Well, that's the thing. Like, I feel like no one would have even noticed if they pulled it from the store because, like, who cares? It's just fucking trash game.
Yeah, I think my Hunter makes fun of the voice I use during that time frame of my reviews. So if you want a good laugh, how my old reviews used to sound, go check out my review of that. If you're not familiar with it, it was pretty fucking terrible.
Dude,
really bad.
They pulled it off of the Oculus store too. It just says add to wish list. I don't think you can even buy it.
It was really bad. So,
Yeah, it's terrible. Like, they wouldn't want that staying on their reputation at this point, I would hope.
I would say probably not.
Terrible.
All right, you guys, that about does it for another episode of PSVR Gamescast Live. If you don't already, make sure you subscribe to Dave over at Dave Station VR. Subscribe to AJ over at PSVR Underground, and the litany of people we need to thank. First and foremost, I think I forgot to thank him last show, SciFiGamecatHenry, for all the work he does getting the timestamps into the show. Can you believe that I didn't give him a shout out last time, and the last time was like the 2 hours show? I was like, oh man, he's got like a fucking ton of work ahead of him. But also, we want to make sure that oh, dude. Hold on a second. Wait, time out. We got to thank some more people that gave us tips that we didn't give a shout outs to. SciFiGamecatHenry, speak of the devil, $5 tip, says call in and geek out this Sunday at 6 p.m. Eastern on Geekful Things. Link is in the Gamecat video sharing channel over on Discord. Make sure you join us over on Discord, and then check out SciFiGamecatHenry's very similar to Gamescast like show, but it's a call-in show, so check it out. We also got MRI Gamer with the $2 tip. It says jalapenos. Trying to throw more toppings onto the theoretical pizza.
That's a good one. If you're open to pineapple, jalapeno and pineapple is like a perfect combination.
Okay, I like
sweet with spicy. It's very good.
Banana pepper and crispy chicken on my pizza is a great combo.
Okay,
yeah,
that'll work.
It's like fried chicken with a spice. We also got Gatorade 23, the H2O despising Gamecat. Boy, I missed a reference there. $5 tip. Rare says just changed my name thanks to AJ's Waterboy reference. I guess that's the reference I missed.
That's the reference.
Water sucks. It really sucks.
Totally lost. So okay, that takes care of all the tips. We give a shout out to SciFiGamecatHenry. Thank you so much, Jamie, for your continued help getting our show up and running on Spotify and Apple Podcast and I don't even know all the other streaming services.
Are we on Apple now?
We are on Apple now, which was a big deal. That's a little bit more difficult to get onto. So thank you, Jay, for making all that happen. This is a great new era for PSVR Gamescast Live. Also, shout out to, of course, all the mods, man. The mods make our lives infinitely easier, taking care of the chat here, but also like making sure that Discord is running smoothly. And so again, join Discord, hang out with us. And of course, Miles Dyer, who runs our Instagram account, has so many awesome people making sure that the whole Without Parole thing runs smoothly. We got Professor Lilith taking care of multiplayers stuff on Sundays. We got Donatello, the Scientist Game Cat, making sure that there's a question of the day every single day over on Discord. It's like everybody's working together to make a cool thing happen, and I appreciate and love every single one of you.
Tell them about the exercise, Brian. Tell them about the exercise.
If you want to join us nightly for Box VR, that also happens on Discord. We get our little shindig together every single night of every single day of every single week of every single month.
Of every single year?
Well, let's hope so. Let's hope it keeps going.
For now.
8 p.m. Eastern. That's Box VR. So again, join us over on Discord to get your name on that and come work out with us. MRI says it takes a village. I fucking 100% agree. So thank you guys. Thank you everybody who donated during the show. We really, really appreciate you keeping the lights on over here. And thank you everybody who supports us on Patreon. Thank you to everybody who contributed during the chat, helped us out with 20 questions. Specifically Aceville, who nailed that one. And of course everybody who sat back, watched the show, and didn't say a goddamn word. We know you're out there, and we love you just as much. What do you say, guys? Time to cue the cat.
Cue the cat, Brian, because I want to say have a great weekend to Nihilus, Ryan, the game, Feline, Brax Bro, J Meow, GC13, the Diet Pepsi Cat, Gabriel 44, the licensed Meow Game Cat. You have a good weekend as well. Genetic Blasphemy with the $2.99 donation, and the cat says, or maybe a fox that says, bye-bye. Blue to the Underground Game Cat Elite Game Squad in the house, so she's off to play Synth Riders. Let's go, Synth Riders. So good. Highly recommend it. Emily Baxter, hashtag Game Kit. The cat has been cued. Johnny No Pockets, a.k.a. the Who Dat Game Cat, says, don't forget to hit that like button. Smash that like button, Tarzan. Smash the like button, Tarzan. Shades of Grey Matter, thank you so much for tuning in. Scott Escopius in Hairpill, PSVR Gamecast for life. To see you on Saturday night live stream. AJ, thank you so much, man. SNL returns tomorrow. MRI Gamer does take a village for sure. Miles Dyer, thank you so much for your support, man. Ben Dawson, you have a great weekend as well. LC2552 Beats. You still in the countryside, homie? You still in the countryside? He's enjoying those musical games too. Great musical games this week. Triangulator, Firebird, Old School. Good to see you. Cheers to you as well. Decepticon. Yeah. Ian Stanbridge. Thank you so much for tuning in, my friend. Donatello, the Misanthrope Game Cat. Hugs to you, my friend. Imzadi, thank you so much for tuning in. Space Dennison will always be Void Cat to me. I don't care if you try to hide. I will find you, and I will Void Citizen you. Flame Hat Game Cat says joked. I think it's Swedish, Dutch, Swedish. Onikaze, Capers, Geist on fist bump to you. 11, Restless Wanderer, 11, who is back, and he says his name is actually Otter X. He's back.
Oh, what up? What up,
Aceville,
Otter?
Aceville, the Attack Cat. Thank you, my dude. Zach Attack. Happy Friday to you as well. You guys stay safe out there. Go watch some Friday 13th movies. I recommend 4 and not the one, not many other.
Brian. Don't stop the show yet. I got a spooky surprise for this weekend. You ready? You guys ready? I got a spooky surprise. All right, everybody get ready to go to the PSN because this is another Blair Witch code. I'm not going to type it out. I'm going to say it.
Oh, whoa.
So get ready. You can go back.
Can you say it backwards?
No. Well,
No.
I could, but that wouldn't be useful to anyone.
Okay.
So here it is, guys. Get
Sure.
ready. It is the number 2, the letter T, the number 9,
Number 9.
the number 2. That's 2T92, C4NK, 5ELT. This is a Blair Witch North America code, guys. Good luck. Go grab it. 2T92, C4NK, 5ELT.
Yeah.
Somebody enjoy and have a good weekend.
Do you know these codes?
I just got an extra one. I don't know.
Nice.
Because I bought the game, so I got all my codes are extras.
Nice. Nice. Good job. Good job. Too bad I stopped the show like 30 seconds ago, so nobody heard any of that.
No, you didn't. No, you didn't.
Have a good weekend, everybody.